Hey guys, want to welcome you to another edition of Halftime Chat. And today I've got a really special guest. I've got the co-founder of the legendary group Kool and the Gang. That is Robert Kool Bell, who is come to be my guest. Um, Kool and the Gang are just have been nominated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's going to be great talking to him to see what's coming. Okay. Wow. So I'm glad. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me or can you see me?
I can see and hear you. Thank
I
you.
see you got the British flag on, and I got London,
Y-
England.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, my goodness, I appreciate the the show of support. Thank you very much.
Hold on for 1 minute. Let me turn your phone off. And who am I? What's your name, sir?
My name is Namdi. Namdi.
Mamdi?
N Namdi. It's like Andy with an N. Namdi.
Oh, Namdi, like Namdi,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Thanks. Yes, my name's it's a Nigerian name.
I know about Nigeria. Yeah,
Yeah. Have you guys played in Nigeria?
about 5 times in the last 20 years. You know, I've been together for 60 years here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think were you I think you probably came in the late 80s, early 90s.
Well, we played for the children of Africa.
Yes, that is
Remember
correct.
that
I
one?
knew I
We
was
did
at that
several more
concert.
before that. That was the one with the blessing of Nelson Mandela, and I think it was the president of Bambagita.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Babangida,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yes, I can remember now because I knew, yes, I did attend that show. Yes, Children of I knew it was, yes, true.
Okay. All right, Nandy, we're ready when you are.
Yeah, I appreciate taking the time to speak with me. And firstly, I want to be able to congratulate you and the group on being nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a long time overdue after 60 years, but hey, better late than never.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Now it's up to the voters at this point. Is get the
Yeah.
votes from the voters. We're nominated now. The voters got to vote in order to get inducted.
So I mean, we're going to do our part to make sure that we're aware. But it's really unfortunate that so many um, prominent black groups and artists are being put in at the same time because it can unfortunately split the votes. You've got yourself, you've got Sade, a Tribe
Right.
Called Quest, Arabian Rakim, Mary J. Blige. It feels as if that just seems like it could split people's votes. So hopefully we can try and s- at least make sure everyone gets in, but especially yourselves.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, but I mean that's an amazing honor. But it's hard to imagine over 60 years. For yourself starting off, did you ever expect it to, the group to stay this long when you started off with your brother and friends to say let's form a group?
Well, now it's a blessing. We started off with several name changes in the beginning. One was the Jazzy Acts, and then the Soul Town Band, and then Cooling the Flames. Finally, Cooling the Gang. First
Wow.
record came out in 1969. That's Cooling the Gang album and single. Yeah.
When you think back at that time, there were groups similar to yours, like Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores, Cameos, which were big bands. I mean, I think for us in my generation, it seems unheard of to have a big band, groups like that. But for yourselves, was it really? Did you have anyone that you modeled yourself when you started that you looked at and said, "Wow, we like what they're doing, and we'll be similar to that"?
Well, when we were the Soul Town band, uh, we were doing Motown
On cover.
songs because you had the Motown Review.
Yeah.
It was an organization called the Soul Town Review. So we would do, a lot of Motown songs, but those wasn't bands per se. They were groups such as Jimmy Walker and All Stars. And then there was James Brown.
Ah.
He wasn't with Motown, but we played a lot of his songs.
Did, did you guys start off covering, or when did you decide to start thinking about creating your own sound?
I started around 1968 because, backing up local talent in Jersey City who was singing songs by the Motown songs.
Yeah.
And then other artists that was a part of the Soul Town Review, we would have to learn those songs as well. With Stevie Wonder, et cetera, et cetera. And we finally developed our own sound, which became a mixture of jazz, funk, R&B, and that was the beginning of the Kool and Gang sound. First record came out in 1968.
Yeah. One of the songs that I didn't realize it was yours until I watched Pulp Fiction. Um, as oh goodness, Jungle Boogie.
Right,
And yeah, I mean it's I mean and I think I've heard it sampled so many times in so many ways. But I was surprised that in those early days it didn't seem as if you focused on having a vocalist singing songs like other sort of R&B bands were.
right. Well, that didn't happen till later, but coming out of uh, the late 60s, we were more like jazz funk band.
Okay.
And we had, we used to talk on our records. I guess you can say that was an earlier stage of hip hop, like Funky Man, Funky Granny. We also did 4 tracks for the Last Poets, the Hustlers Convention. We did 4 songs for that. And just started to develop. Now, when we did Jungle Boogie and funky stuff, it was more of a group style singing. Although Hollywood Swinging, Rick West did the lead vocals on that.
Mm.
So it started to develop. But it wasn't until 19, I mean, around 1978, we were out on tour with the Jacksons.
Wow.
And Michael was there at the time. So let me go back. Actually, it was 79 we were on tour. But what happened was Dick Griffey, who had Solar Records,
Yeah,
said, you're doing great. But he said, I think you need a lead singer. And we said, yeah. He said, yeah, I think you do. So we thought about it. You had the Commodores, had Lionel Richie, Maurice White,
Oh,
Bill
F-25.
Haley, One and Fire. So we said, let's take a shot. And that's when we decided to get a lead singer. And that was JT Taylor. And our first record became a big record, Ladies Night. It was a huge record for us. My wife and I was hanging out over in New York, Studio 54, and also at the club called Regine's. And we realized that every weekend there was a ladies' night. So I went back to the guys. I said, I got a perfect song for one of the songs for JT. And they said, what? I said, ladies' night. And my brother said, wow, there's one of those around the world. And the rest is history because Frankie Crocker broke that record in New York.
Um, it, it is strange. Was there any resistance from the other members when you thought about getting a lead singer, or did they say, no, let's stay where we are, we're doing well, we're touring with the Jacksons, why do we need to change it?
Well, I think that we really thought about that, and we felt that it could be a time to make a change. Because some of our music, we could have had lead singers on some of our music back then, but we finally decided to go into it now. Because at that time, we were saying that disco sucked and it was burning records in Chicago and all these different things were going on.
Yeah.
So we felt that it was time for us to make a transition, which we did.
Were you surprised how big a hit Ladies Night was, your very first record with a vocalist, and how big it took off?
Very surprised. We never had a lead singer, but it definitely was a big record for us. I mean, we fooled around, like I said, Hollywood Swinging
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Winter Sadness, and we had Summer Madness, but not an actual lead singer, and that's when it all started.
But it became a global hit because I think sometimes when I talk to my guests, because I'm in the UK now, but when I was in the 80s, my parents' family moved to Nigeria. And so a lot of times when I'm talking to guests, I'm talking from perspective into my 8, 9 years living in Nigeria. So songs like Ladies Night or Cherish and Joanna and how these were not just American hits, not just European hits, but also in places like Nigeria. Hence, when you came to do Children of Africa, everyone probably would sing all the songs because the songs were so big. I don't know at that stage, do you guys realize, wow, we're big around the world, not just America?
Well, it was a great concert for a great cause. We're talking about the children of Africa. Miriam Makeba is the one who kind of spearheaded that project in South Africa. You had Hugh Tequila. You had the blessings of Nelson Mandela. We had the Commodores did that show with us.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think the timing was right.
yeah. No, but I was also referring to the fact that when you came out with Ladies Night, it was an international hit, not just an American hit. Were you surprised that actually around the world, not just in America, people knew of Kool and the Gang and your songs?
Well, yes, that was a blessing. I mean, although in the mid 70s, songs like Jungle Boogie and Funky Stuff and Hollywood Swinging and Summer Madness, those were international hits as well.
Yeah,
And you go into Open Sesame, with John Travolta and that whole movie scene, Saturday Night Fever, that continued to open the door. So when we started writing songs with J.T. Taylor, the door, well, was open. Cheers, ladies night first, to get down on it. And
yeah.
celebration.
Ooh, yeah, yes, yeah. Oh my
La la
goodness.
la, that's another one.
Yeah, that was
It's
a big
my
in
heart.
Nigeria too. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was big in Nigeria. I cherished when I was in high school in boarding school was it was probably the for my young generation that Cherish was probably our biggest song. So Celebration and Ladies Night, our parents vibed to, but my generation Cherish was probably one of the it was there with say Stevie Wonder's Part-Time Lover. It was really massive. Even now it's very sentimental that track.
yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I do wonder the how do you as a group over the decades keep motivated because it seems like the industry is challenging, doing tours, promoting records, doing with publishing and record labels. It seems I mean in one point it could look glamorous, but it seems if it could be a lot of work. How over the years do you keep motivated to continue?
Well, you're right about that because it's a up and down business, but we have been able to stay together. Our parents told us many years ago, whatever you do, stick together as a family and as a band. And we did that. Now, it's a little bit more difficult now because I lost all my members, Ricky West, George Brown, my brother, Khalees, DT. I'm the last one from as I call the Magnificent Seven. The seven original members, I'm the last one. Now, I had other members who have been with me for 20 years, 15 years, 30 years. Well, we're talking about 60 years.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we did hear about the loss of George last November. Just after you came out with you're coming out with your final your most recent album.
What
Um,
we have out now is that, which is George was the producer of that one. It's
wow,
called People Just Want to Have Fun. And the
wow,
one before that, before my brother passed, was called Perfect Union, Pursuit of Happiness. So my brother was the producer of one of the albums, and then George Brown produced the last one, and here we are.
wow.
And out there swinging and hoping to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, hopefully, no, sure you definitely do. A new generation got reintroduced to you with DJ Cassidy, Pastor Mike. You remember when you got the call to do
This,
that?
Yeah, too hot. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, was
Put,
it?
put that solo on there. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, because I've interviewed Cassidy, very loved him, very lots of energy, very excited. He's very respectful of the legends like yourselves. Was any resistance from you when you were told, we want to do this project to pass the mic, and you were the first one? There was nothing to look for.
Not at all. Not at all. And so he also did a version of Celebration that he remixed it. And it'll probably come out this year. You know,
Okay.
so we've been pretty close with DJ Cassidy.
Okay. Yes. The other thing I wanted is why you chose the bass instead of say piano or trumpet or even singing.
Well, I started off playing percussion. I
Okay.
played bongos, a little bit of conga. But I was working in New York. We were the earlier band, and we were at Cafe One. So Robert Mickens' brother played guitar. Robert Mickens Spike, and I used to fool around with the guitar a little bit at his house. So I learned how to play one song on one string called "Coming Home Baby." So one night we were at the Cafe One, and my brother I said, "Why don't you come up and just play that one song on one string called Coming Home Baby?" I did. I got through it. Then I became a bass player. That's how it happened. But let me just add something else to that story. My father was a top five featherweight, lightweight featherweight
Wow.
champion over the years. And he used to box in Cuba. During the
Wow.
time before the sanctions, you had Miles Davis and Freddie Hubbard and, Coltrane, a lot of those guys to come to Cuba. And then when I was born, he called my mother and said, uh, I want to also give my son a second name because his name was Bobby Bell. So I became, of course, Bobby Bell Jr.
Yeah.
Then he came up with Dodo Monteroso, L.A. Kiko. She said, what? Dodo Monteroso was a bass player in Cuba, bass player and pianist. He didn't know I was going to become a bass player. He just
Wow.
liked to hang around musicians. Miles Davis tried to get in the ring with him. And he told Miles, listen, man, if I hit you in the lip the wrong way, man, I might mess up your career. All this monk became my godfather. All those guys were hanging out in New York together.
Wow. My goodness. I mean, that's an amazing way of, false, giving, really, no, for prophesying, but really, blessing a child by actually giving them a name in that form. I mean, are there bass players today that you look at and appreciate? Which ones do you?
Well, coming, we used to call ourselves the Jazziacs. That was our first name.
Yeah.
And I should listen to Ron Carter as the bass player. And Reggie Workman, the Jazz Crusaders. Uh, uh, what's his name over there? Motown. Robinson so just play all those Motown hits. So there's a lot of different bass players to this too.
Yeah. It's I interviewed Brian Abrams from Color Me Bad, and they spoke about how you guys were the ones who discovered them and helped them break through. How did that, from your point of view, how did that work? Because that's amazing group.
Well, that goes back to the Cool Kids Foundation, which my wife set up before she passed, Sakina Bell, which was almost over 5 years ago. And she wanted to bring music back into the schools. And I remember growing up, they had music in the schools. I remember in the music class, I took the cello home, didn't quite like that. The violin, didn't quite like that. So that led up to playing the bass. So we did a project called It's Cool to Stay in School. We did 48 shows with Cherry Coke. And when we got to Oklahoma City, These four guys came up to me and my cousin, Del Bayan, who passed also. Said, listen, we're doing good in school. You know, we know it's cool to stay in school. He said, but we want to sing something for you. So we said, go ahead. So they started singing 3 songs and a cappella. He said, wow, these guys sound great. So I told my cousin, that he called his brother in New York, and we sent those guys to New York. And then we came up with the name Color Me Bad because we didn't, you know, we didn't want people to know whether they were black or white. Just color me bad.
Oh, wow.
Listen to me and let me get down on it. And that's how it happened, man. A lot of people might not know that story, but that's how it came about.
Wow. Were you surprised with their success? I mean, instant success as well.
Well, I knew they can sing. That was the good thing. And I knew it was one brother in the band and one Spanish guy and two white guys. So I knew that the right song. And we got blessed because New Jack City had just came out, with Wesley Snipes,
Yeah, yeah,
records.
yeah,
So, and then I'm Gonna Sex You Up was the first single. Did we know that was going to happen? No. That was the beginning of Color Me Bad.
yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, I think people. I don't know how many people recognize the fact that Call Me Bad, and I think when they came out, we didn't say, "Oh, look at these white guys trying to be black." We just realized they could sing and the music was powerful. But I don't think we could have even equate that they were part of the Kool and the Gang family.
That was exactly a part of the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is amazing. The other thing I was surprised is the fact that you're displaying at the back your champagne and you're also into luxury watches. I mean, how did that element of getting into the drink business and the watch business, how did that come about?
Well, the champagne started back about 10 years ago. We were touring in France, and we had about 20 sold out shows.
Wow.
So the promoter came to me and said, listen, I'm doing something with the late Barry White lookalike, one of the PGs. We're doing a champagne. And he asked me, well, would you like to do this on your tour? Well, I said, well, I don't think my fans are going to want to buy a bottle of champagne after the concert. They're going to want T-shirts and caps and
Hmm.
all that kind of a thing. But I did say to him, I want to get on the shelves. And he looked at me, you want to get on the what? I said, I want to get on the shelves, like Dom Perignon, the Cristal, Veuve Clicquot, all up in Ypernay. And I came up with the name Le Cool Champagne. And we got with the Berthelot family and Ypernay, and they produced the champagne for me. And then it's like the movie, Eddie Murphy Coming to America.
Yeah.
We did our launch in America because I wanted the name to be more of a French sound because the French are the one control champagne.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I came up with Le Cool. And here we are today. Time to be
Wow.
cool.
Wow, good. Where can people buy it? So if around America, where can people buy it if they want?
Well, you can get it on the coolchampagne.com. You can get it on the internet. Then there's various other stores. We're only in about 12 markets. You get in New York, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Colorado, Vegas,
Okay.
LA. Yeah.
Yeah. What about internet? Are you in the UK or should we use the website to access?
We're working on the UK.
Okay.
We can use the website, but the magazine called Lust Life, out of the UK.
Is it Westfield or?
No, we have to send that to you. We were voted the number one champagne for 2023.
Okay.
Lust
Okay.
Life. Yeah, we can get all that information to you.
Okay. What about the watches? How did that come about then? Because also getting into that, I mean, that's another big thing.
But what's happened with, first of all, um, now Rogers was the first cousin to my trumpet player. The same one I used to play the guitar with his brother. So we were we went to Nile Rodgers' birthday party celebration, and he had done a watch with the Boulevard. So the gentleman we call him Mr. B came up to us and said, "Listen, uh, would you be interested in doing a watch with us?" I said, "Sure." So that happened between my son Prince Hakeem and my other son Muhammad, and we sat down, we met with them, and we decided to do a watch, and we're calling it Ladies' Night, the First Lady. I say Ladies' Night, we're going back to Ladies' Night, because Ladies' Night was such a big record for us, and our first with JT. Then we come up with the First Lady. So we gotta get you, a copy of the First Lady, bring you up to spa as to all the things that we're doing. So that's how it happened. That's the
Okay.
short version.
And we can get that on websites. Is what's the best way for people to order that?
On the website, we do coolchampagne.com.
Okay, and the watch we can look at the watch there.
But we're on other places. We're on the Norwegian cruise ships.
Okay.
On the Norwegian cruise ship. We're doing shows coming up in May with Carnival. We're working with other cruise lines to get the champagne on the cruise lines. That's another way also.
Okay. And just as we wrap up, I know that you were in Vegas for the Super Bowl weekend, but you're back again in May, August, and October.
We have a residency with
Westgate.
which started off as the Hilton. We played it back when it was the Hilton. That was a home, of Elvis Presley.
Wow.
And then, of course, what's his name? Took over. Can't think of his name right now. But Tony, who's that guy's name?
Okay, that's right. Okay, the Hilton. And I know you're in you're going to South Africa late in the year, in
Oh
November.
yeah. We're going back to South Africa. We've been to South Africa several times over the last 10 years or 15 years. But yeah, November.
In
We're
November, yeah.
Cape Town, and we'll be playing Joburg, actually Pretoria, the home of Nelson Mandela.
And
Yeah.
wow. I mean, as I said, I want to make sure people are aware to vote for Kool and the Gang in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Also, I did look at Cool Kids Foundation, and it's an amazing achievement that trying to get young kids interested in music, with instruments, because my young kids they started to get into music the same way, and it really helps them see the world differently. So that's really amazing, where people can go on and really try and support the foundation.
Also, the other person, the name I was going to mention is Barry Manilow.
Barry
Barry
Manilow.
Manilow kind of picked up the baton after Elvis Presley. We played it a couple of times, but Barry Manilow's been there for many, many years. Yeah. So we're
Wow.
sharing that with a while.
Wow. No, it's amazing. As I said, I appreciate the fact that you could take time out of your busy schedule today. We're going to make sure people remember to go on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame webpage, where they can vote for Kool and the Gang to be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 6 years of legacy of music, and the fact that you've got a foundation that trying to inspire the next generation of musicians is an
I
amazing
gotta
achievement.
add one more legend,
Yeah, yeah.
Frankie Valli.
Wow.
Frankie Valli is also with the old folks, I guess you want to call us, whatever. So you got Barry Manilow, Frankie Valli, and Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
Living the legend of the great Elvis Presley. What about that?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you guys are legends, and you can see people can appreciate you now as much as they did back in the 60s and 70s and stuff.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and so I appreciate your time. I appreciate, I mean, listening and hearing, 60 years plus, and I believe you probably will come into the UK late in the summer, so hopefully we can get to see you as well.
Well, we like to thank our fans in the UK. I think the first time we came there was almost 20 years ago. Without all these singing, we were playing more of the funkier things like funky man, funky granny, a little bit of funky stuff. Where it was until when JT joined the band, then we crossed over to doing more, as they say, pop songs. So it's
Yeah.
been great. So we always thank our fans in the UK for our support. And
Well,
like you just said, don't forget to vote.
yeah, no, we're gonna make sure we're gonna keep pushing it and make sure people remember to vote. But yeah, you definitely need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So yeah, appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you guys, in New York and no, in Cleveland, celebrating your awards as well.
That would be great because I was born in Youngstown, Ohio. So
Okay.
Cleveland was right next door.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have family members in Cleveland also. So yeah, we're looking
yeah.
forward.
Yeah, appreciate it. Well, I thank you and your team for setting this up and yeah, and as I said, we'll hopefully see you when you come to the UK, but also letting everyone know that they can catch you either in Vegas, and other tour dates have been made available on the website.
Okay then. Well,
Yes,
thank you very much.
thank you very much. Take care.
You too.
Bye. Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate that. That was an interview with Robert Bell from Kool and the Gang. We didn't get as much time. I mean, we were limited to 15 minutes, but we were able to get a little bit more. So I appreciate the fact that we were able to speak to him. But yes, Kool and the Gang are nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. As I mentioned, they are up against a lot of competition. So Mary J. Blige, Tribe Called Quest, Ed Bin Rakim, Sade, and that's just more on the sort of on the black side, and some others. And it is about voting, and it's whoever gets the most votes gets inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, they're going to need your votes and they're going to need your support. But yes, Robert Bell from Kool and the Gang. Thank you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I did miss you really.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Jonas Boys winning Oscars. Play it.
And all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.